Dad, how old were you when you first went to the sea?
Well, when I first went to the sea, I must have been about 24, 25, because the slump in the boat building industry.
Okay, so did you work in the boat building?
I served my apprenticeship in Jones as a bookie, as a ship's carpenter.
Okay.
And that was building fishing boats up to 70 feet at that time.
And fun would that have been?
I think I was 16 when I first started in Jones's, because I'd spent a year after I left school a butcher's message boy. I thought till I was old enough to start a trade. Well, my father was a fisherman all his life, and he had 3 sons, and he dared them to ever go fishing, because it really is a hard life. But I was the only that reneged in that sense, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It was a hard life.
And what kind of fishing was it that you were involved in then?
It was white fish I'd seen that I was involved in.
And were you in a lot of different boats, or?
My very first one was the Comet, which was owned by the Phimisters in Finachty. There was a family, I think it was 3 brothers, and each had a boat. And I was at the Comet.
What would be your most memorable kind of?
I eventually advanced to being a shareholder in a boat with Harold Napier and the Morning Star, and we was coming out of Lerwick after sheltering for bad weather, and there was 3 of us in the wheelhouse. Harold, he was a skipper, myself, I was mate, and a young lad. It was just an apprentice sort of thing. And he spotted this flash of yellow, which turned out to be a life raft. I think it was 4 men it was aboard it. Their trawler had sunk in the bad weather, and that was pretty traumatic.
So if it happened, did you?
Well, we rescued them, obviously, and fed them and gave them clothes to wear, and took the life raft aboard and headed for Fraserburgh, I think it was, and landed them on the life raft. We were invited to a do in Macduff Town Hall, where we were presented with a medal and a tankard, I think it was, and congratulations for the Faroese government for rescuing their citizens. There was a tercentenary of the All Harbour in 1993, and my brother-in-law, he was also a carpenter. He was older than me, and it was suggested to us that we could make a mast, and which we duly did, and somebody asked Sinclair Young, who was the organiser of that activities, what we was going to do with the mast, and he says, well, we're going to build a boat round about it, which we did, which I did in 1996, which turned out to be the, oh no, I forget the name of the boat.
A Bearnachol.
A Bearnachol, which is Gaelic for labour of love.
So how long did that take you to make that boat?
It was about 18 months to 2 years, and it was a joy. She was a scoffy, which was the forerunner to the fifes used in this area at that in the 18th century. And of course, being a seafaring man myself, I just thought it was a good idea. And I got involved through Andy Rate.
And was that at the very beginning then?
That was at the very beginning, at the very first Portsoy Boat Festival. I oversaw the quines building the soy quine, which is a style skiff for rowing, inshore rowing. And I tried to install the local tidal information to them so it would be useful to them. Well, with my sea experience and all the rest of it, the lasses persuaded me to help steer, well, the cooks, which was steering the boat while they rowed. And that was an experience in itself.
But they're rowing or you're coxing?
A bit of both, and the joviality, if you could call it that. And
do you think it still is good for the local community?
Of course, it draws in a lot of people. I think it was about 12 to 16,000 folk attended. Well, I think it's just the heritage of the place and the situation about the harbour, which there are stories about smugglers and God knows fitter. The character of the boats has changed slightly. It's more modern craft at a pen now, but for a start there was boats that had been built in their local regions and were a joy to see. I would imagine it's the same in every coastal village. Their prime source of survival was fishing.